Good morning. Monday morning coffee. Happy to connect with you this morning. How are you doing? I had a crazy weekend, and I'll share with you in a second why it was a crazy weekend, but it was really, really good. I'm just going to give a little bit of time for people to start connecting. Really good to have you here. Maybe it's the title, I don't know. But how do you feel as a parent? And I have to say, I'm feeling pretty good right now with the overwhelming messages that we received during the weekend. If you're not aware, I think it was Friday or Saturday, I don't know, don't remember. But I did a post uh, talking about my daughter's business. And I mean, we had overwhelming messages, and so grateful. Um, I first want to thank everybody for your great messages and your amazing comments and for me, by far, this is the best compliment I can receive. Uh, Even though I work with business owners and with professionals and everything, ultimately I do all this because of my family, because of my daughter and the example I'm creating for her. And we had, I mean, I'm telling you, like, overwhelming messages was really, really beautiful. And even someone did write to me and asked me to help. And I was like, well, and that is something that I have to say that was always in the forefront of everything that we've been doing, is like all of our decisions have been made toward that. All of our decisions have been made toward making sure that she is in the proper environment and she's having the proper guidance and everything. And we really realize how important the environment is when she was like 4, where she came back from school and just had like the most bizarre comment. And I was like, where is this coming from? I mean, this, you didn't learn this from here. You didn't learn this at home, because we don't talk this way, and we don't, that's not the way that we are operating. But she got that for her little friends from back home, from back at school. So this is where that I start realizing how important and how vital um, environment is for our children. And often we are not there. And one of the things that I wanted to do as well for me and my family is I wanted to have a business. I wanted to have something that I can do, so I can be present. I can be, be able to go on a Monday morning into seeing her playing tennis, or that I could be, traveling to the things that she's doing, that I have the time to go and see her practicing and be present. And now, after all of that effort and time and experience, and by the way, like, don't don't fool yourself, like, to say, oh, Mark, you're so perfect, like, far to be the case. She's often rolling her eyes, like, when she's like hearing me having and telling her to do this or that. This is far to be perfect. Like, actually, we do our best as a parent, right? But how do you feel as a parent? When it's time to grade yourself, and I look at what I do and how I do things, and it's only when I get, and that's probably not accurate, And that's probably not good to do that. But it's really when we get the feedback, but you don't want to base everything on the feedback you're receiving, right? Because then you're living from the outside in. Like, I know deep down, I know that we're doing a pretty good job, but it's when people are sharing with me that they are impressed, if I may use that term, that is, you know, it shows, and that she has right guidance, and etc. etc. This is where I say, okay, like that's working, right? Ultimately, you know, you never know as a parent, like, if it's working or not. Only like you want your child to be happy. Ultimately, this is what matters. And I always thought about discipline, like personally, probably because like I had, like, my father was extremely like rigid into his the way that he was bringing us. And you can tell my sister, sure, she would tell you, she was not a happy camper there. But like with the environment that we created, we allowed her to be able to express herself and create, like, you know, the painting, and create the business for herself. And she's been doing like pretty good. And it's very, very rewarding to be a witness of that. And the way that it happened is by teaching her. And my wife has huge involvement into this, is like the time that she's spending into really implementing the lessons into her behavior, and the talk that she has with her, and making sure that everything that I'm teaching to my clients, this is passed to her in a way that she can understand it. And this is truly ultimately what matters into this, is like the results is good. I remember one client came to me because I was doing a talk at her school, and the client came to me, is just like, you know, my son is like just a disaster, and he's having tantrum and all those things. And I was looking at the client, and I said, the problem is not your son, the problem is you. And the client knew, actually, was really aware that it was not coming from the son, it was coming from the behavior of the parents. And what we did is we worked the same way that we're working with the program, and the behavior of the children changed, but drastically, because the parent changed. So this is truly what is happening. Like, when you see the children are perfect, what you have to understand is the moment the child gets out, like that little ball of energy that gets out from the mother's womb is perfect in terms of energy. Is the conditioning that we put in the child that is messing up the energy, right? And the conditioning, well, it comes two ways. It comes genetically, which basically, if you were having anger, and you were having fear, and you were having all those things during conception, well, you put this into the gene of the child, okay? So the child will have things in them that it's coming from the genetic, from the parents, first of all. Second is their condition, energetically speaking, like with the environment. So whatever environment they're growing up, if they are in the environment of lack, which I grew up in an environment of lack, limitation, you know, about money and about like the type of thing. So it took me so long to get away from that. But if we start it early, we can fix this like that. We can embed in them during the moment that like their mind is in formation, during the moment that you can truly implement something in them, we can truly change everything and make them having a good start in life. And my friend, which she's a teacher, she just like connected now, it's gonna be way easier for the teacher, I promise you that, because the children will already have a basic of understanding on how their mind works and how that they can address the challenge that they are experiencing. Like my daughter knows that if she's not feeling good, she has the power to change it. Why? Because she got taught this idea. This is part of her conditioning in this household. It all starts with the parents. We as a parent are responsible for the happiness of our children. And my friend, it could be hard to hear, and you could be telling me right now, yeah, but you don't understand, da 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 da. It all starts with us. And the faster you take that responsibility and that you're doing something about it, the faster you're going to be able to change it and really create a good way of having this child to have the best chance that they can do something with their lives. Now, does that mean that they're going to be messed up and they can do nothing for that? No, that's not what it means. I mean, I look at people that I know that have had like messed up childhood. I mean, like just messed up. And they did really good, but they struggled. And they probably invested a lot of money in psychotherapy and a lot of money into finding themselves, which that could have been addressed while they were children if the parent had the tool. And this is the part that we have to understand as a parent, is this is our responsibility to fix ourselves so that we don't pass this to the children. Because if you do so, well, you're giving like 1 or 2 strikes to your child. It might never had 3 strikes, but would have a disadvantage as they're growing up because of lack of self-confidence, lack of not being able to take decision. Why? Because you didn't have self-confidence. You were unable to make decisions. And all of those things, you didn't know how your mind works. So when we are making the work in ourselves and we are changing the way that we feel, instantly we are implementing this in the children through the energetic communication that we have with the child all the time. It's great. I mean, it's such a great subject that my wife and I decided, like, why are we not like creating a group? So that is something that we're going to do, is we're going to have a group. Now we're going to take 10 parents, and that could be 1 or 2 parents. I don't care. Like if some of the parents want to do this as a couple, they can do it as a couple. Or like maybe like, you know, the husband says, I want to do that. Like I'm a macho. I'm not going to go into like, first of all, this is not psychotherapy. Okay. I'm not a psychologist. What I do and what I would do is I would add and I would share with you what we did and how that we're doing it so that you can do the very same thing. Again, this information is available to anybody, everybody. So we're going to create a group where that we're going to be able like to give you the tools that you need anyway, but we're not going to fix the child. As I mentioned, the child is perfect. When the child is going into tantrum and all this, is your energy that's triggering this. As a parent, that's the energy of the parent which is triggering all of those things, as well as like what do you feed them? Are you aware that they have allergy to certain food, which is triggered by their behavior? You know through their behavior if they have allergy to this type of food, as well the feedback that they're getting from their environment, which is through YouTube or it's through the television. How are you monitoring all this? Do you monitor any of this? Or you're just like totally blind and you're not paying any attention to that? Well, this responsibility is on you. So this is one of the things that we're going to share. And by the way, again, I believe that this is the greatest reward that you can have. And I know because that's how I feel. With all the comments I received during the weekend about like what we did with her, and how that she's been building her own business and selling on her own. Like now I don't need to participate into herself. She sells herself. She can sell her own product. Like I assisting right now for delivery. I'm assisting like to pack the stuff, bringing like to calling the delivery system to send like stuff in Canada and Australia and Germany and England, and I mean like amazing. I mean, I'm wild, and I'm right there, right next to it. So now all this is designed to say that any child can have the very same experience. And it's not about competition. It's not about, oh, I want to make my child a superstar, which like my friend back home, I said like 5 years prior my daughter was born, I said she's going to be a tennis player. And everybody said, you can't do that. You don't know. What if like she wants to play piano? Just, she's not going to play piano. We don't have piano at home. She's not going to play piano. Well, she turned out to be a painter. She loves to paint. She loves to be an artist. But she still played tennis, because the tennis for me this is where the discipline started. This is where the discipline is. Now, if you would talk to her, she would probably say, I would rather to just paint all day long. Like, fair enough. But I would not just like let a child which is at that age decide what they do, because they don't understand how important discipline is if you want to have a business, which that was something that she said to me. She said, now I need to start to be organized, which I was like, you're absolutely right. Well, this organization probably comes from the fact that it's been very, very disciplined with our tennis and the way that our coach and what they're asking from her. So it's very interesting. I mean, it's a great trip. It's a great journey. I love every second of it. Really annoyed sometimes too. So I'm not gonna lie that it's all perfect and pink and flamenco and all this. That's not the truth. It's not. Like it's really a journey, and it's a lot of fun. So what we're gonna do is this, like we're gonna give you, and I'm gonna post this on my timeline when we're gonna do this and start opening. We're gonna take only 10 parents, like basically it can be up to 20. There's gonna be 20 people if there's a couple that comes together. But we wanna keep it small, because what we wanna do is we wanna be able to really work closely with them. And I'm gonna do this with my wife. So she's gonna be able like to share like what she talked and all this. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. And what I can tell you is you're gonna be better. You're gonna create a amazing thing for yourself. And you're gonna be able as well to pass this information to your children, which ultimately this is what is this is where the magic happened. This is where that I know what I'm doing is the right thing, and I'm really, really grateful. Grateful for all of you, like to be connecting to this and to listen to it, to comment. I see Julie have been, ben juste vous deux pour entendre mini businesswoman. Like this is half French, half English. Yeah, I know, Julie. That's what it is. Good morning, Choni. Hola, buenos dias in Mexico. Danduan is here. Hi, how you doing? So I've seen a lot of people like coming and going. Again, thank you so much for connecting. And tell me what you're thinking. Tell me if you want to be part of it. That's going to be fun. That's for sure. And I'm really excited about it. Have a spectacular, spectacular week. Go and get your coffee. And I'll see you next Monday. Peace out.